Howdy, my name is Derrick Henry, and I help people elevate their experience in Excel and beyond. Why is that so important? Because Excel is arguably the most important software application ever built. Think about it. Virtually every reputable app out there has Excel import and export buttons. As a CPA, I had my fair share of accounting classes in college, but none of them was as impactful as a class that taught me how I would use Excel in the real world. Accounting stuff, a solid foundation is important, but you'll learn most of what you really need on the job out of necessity. The same is true for Excel, but most people lack that solid foundation. Thankfully, I had a professor in college that taught us how to think efficiently and creatively and really challenge the status quo. That led to a deep foundation that has benefited me for over 20 years now. One of the first things I worked on in public accounting was an out-of-town project fixing the books for a large healthcare company. Over 200 colleagues and I had a tiny amount of space to work in. I had so little space I could barely move my mouse, and back then touchpads were pretty terrible. That led to learning 20 or so keyboard shortcuts and making a few of my own that ran macros to combine steps. I quickly gained a reputation for problem solving, working super efficiently, and of course, growing Excel expertise. Over the years, I've written thousands of macros. Many of them were specific to a particular purpose. Some and many more were built so that I could reuse them in my personal macro workbook, and I shared a lot of those with other people I worked with. A few years ago, my boss said, "You're really good at this stuff. You should find a way to package it up and sell it because it's saving us a ton of time." So I learned all about the benefits of add-ins, and that's where the Excelivate add-in was born. It now has hundreds of features that save people a lot of time, often over 200 hours a year. Whether it's a quick shortcut that you run dozens of times a day, or something just once a month that automates something that's very high volume, there's no shortage of ways you can save time. My system for efficiency is this: think once, apply often, and refine when you need to. It's all about reusing your effort, not just saving time, but precious energy and brain power. How do you do that? Through reusable templates, default settings, saving your favorites, and of course, shortcuts. That's how I build things because at the end of the day, I'm lazy. I hate doing the same thing over and over again. That's literally insanity. I'd rather spend that time learning, helping people, or making things better. Working efficiently is the key to unlocking capacity. That is, unless you want to work a lot more hours in the day. Our world is changing faster than ever, and despite all the technology tools we have available, more is demanded of us than ever before. While AI and machine learning are great tools that are the big fad right now, they're dramatically changing the way we get things done. They're just one part of the efficiency equation. They'll continue to put more emphasis on the way that we spend time together, thinking and communicating and analyzing and learning and building and improving. Now, back to Excel. That firm foundation was crucial for me because unlike a lot of my peers, I had what I needed to get started in my career. Most of what I learned from then on was thanks to the internet. I got really good at carefully wording my Google searches for exactly what I needed to find. Most of my Excel knowledge was taught from trial and error. That's certainly not the most efficient way to learn. After all, you don't know what you don't know. We learn best by doing, but when we have guidance from experience-based learning and coaching, that learning from doing is so much more impactful. I took my first Excel boot camp about 10 years ago when most people would say, Derrick's pretty good at this stuff. He's the resident Excel expert. I figured I'd learn a few things, but boy was I humbled. My mind was open like never before and my skills accelerated. If you're self-taught, take a course or two. It's probably reimbursable, so what do you got to lose? And you might need some CPE credits anyway, so why not get them while you learn something really useful? You'll learn so much more than you imagined. If you haven't taken an Excel course in 5 or 10 years, guess what? A lot has changed in Excel. Tools like Power Query and dynamic array functions are two great examples that are dramatically changing the way people use Excel. The Excel team is building some awesome new features, and if you're not already using them, you're already way behind. My hope for you is this: to learn from others so you can save time, land your dream role, probably get a nice pay raise, and make a huge difference. And you get that by using thoughtful tools and learning valuable skills. When you're ready to get started, I'm here to help. Take my Excel add-in for a test drive, attend a webinar, follow me on LinkedIn where I share a lot of useful tips, tricks, and tools, and share that knowledge with your friends and colleagues because together we can go far. Thanks for watching and have an excellent rest of your day.